great ocean of stars awaits us. What or who will we find there? In centuries past, our ancestors built the great undersea ruins that still reveal their secrets to us today. Their works were for many generations beyond us. Their ultimate fate unclear. But across the ages, we have long felt the call of the void. The science of our ancestors has shown us how to travel faster than light itself. But the ruins also tell of a terrible and sudden apocalypse which befell them. Yet its cause is unknown to us. We must not allow this to deter us. Our understanding of science and technology has allowed us to glimpse a greater destiny that waits for us beyond our world. Let us complete the work they set before us, and keep science as our guide as we set forth to push back the darkness. Confront any dangers we meet, and bring peace and enlightenment to all.
The slayers of the Mortak, the bravest of the brave. The traditions of our ancestors who came here in the age before live strong within us. We know that they were the greatest of warriors who stood against all and were never vanquished, even by the great ancient horror that consumed the stars. We have kept the old ways and the ancient pact to rebuild and regain the greatness of the champions of old. The ancient tales speak of powerful enemies, battles greater than any we have seen, and incredible dangers. The honor and glory that awaits us is beyond reckoning. We will use the star drive our ancestors left for us, and send forth the brave, the Mortalin, to reclaim the stars.
There are several key concepts to understand about the economy in Distant Worlds 2. First, it is divided into a state economy and a private or civilian economy. The private economy can be guided, enabled, and protected by the state, which is you as the player, but you are not able to fully control it. The wealth of your empire rests on the foundation of your colony worlds, where your people live. In order to be able to afford to expand to new worlds and allow those worlds to grow and prosper, you first need to make sure they have good access to resources. As the state, you can guide the creation of an extensive resource mining economy. That's based around private mining stations and mining ships that extract resources from all over the galaxy, which are then transported by your civilian freighters back to your spaceport hubs and your populated worlds. There are many resources, but they come in three main types: construction resources, which are required to build things, and also are important for your colonies to grow. Reactor fuel, which is critical for faster-than-light travel through the galaxy, and thus the continued functioning of your star lanes. Luxury resources, which are important for the development of your colonies. Looking at a populated colony world, the population level is very important in distinguishing a starting frontier colony with few people from a self-sustaining world. We can see that your population has a growth rate. In order for that growth rate to be optimized, your colony needs abundant access to construction resources and a healthy credit cash flow to fund extra infrastructure and growth. The second key part is the development of a colony, which in combination with your population determines the economic output of each world. Worlds with low development produce less revenue. Your population contributes development, but you also need to ensure a colony world has access to a wide variety of luxury resources in abundant quantities. This will primarily increase development, but also happiness and growth. You can also see corruption, which in DW2 means the absence of state control, and defines how much of the economic output created by your private citizens on that world is within your reach as the state. The tax rate on that remaining output determines the state revenues for that world, but can also negatively influence your colony happiness. If you set up a good resource economy and protect it with your military ships and stations, and make sure your freighters can transport resources without being attacked or inhibited, your population will grow, your revenues will increase, and along with that, your state income will rise. If you fail to protect your economy, you may face shortages and economic declines, which may force you to seek new sources for those resources or solve the problems that created the shortage in the first place. Diplomacy is a very important tool which you can automate or, if you prefer, fully control. Effective diplomacy can allow you to avoid conflict or at least have allies on your side if war is inevitable. For the most part, diplomacy is about patience and continuing investment in diplomatic relationships over time. Distant Worlds 2 includes more treaty types and additional relationship modifiers and better tracking of long-term trust and distrust. Treaty types range from 3 kinds of trade treaties in the basic non-aggression pact, all the way up to full research cooperation agreements and defensive pacts. Through the diplomacy screen, you can choose to speak with other empires, independent worlds, or pirates. For each one, your advisors will choose a diplomatic strategy, which you may also change to suit your plans. Diplomacy with independence is focused on trade, and if done well, can lead to an opportunity to integrate the independent world into your empire, which can be a great benefit, especially when your empire is still young. Pirates in Distant Worlds 2 are space-based civilizations that survived the last cataclysm and have grown used to preying on planets like your own for resources and tribute. Diplomacy with pirates is thus more difficult, but if you manage to get past the stage of paying them protection money and earn their trust, you can ask for payment-free non-aggression treaties and even military refueling. Pirates often also have knowledge of certain galactic secrets and technologies beyond what the planetary civilizations were able to preserve. Finally, you have empires, which are the most complex and rewarding diplomatic partners. When you first meet an empire, a first contact situation could result in anything from an initially positive relationship with a trade treaty, all the way to a terrible misunderstanding leading to war. Over time, each AI empire will choose a diplomatic strategy of its own. You can't see exactly what strategy the other empires have chosen towards you, but by engaging in diplomacy, you can start to get a better sense of whether they could prove to be friends or foes. Consistent diplomatic efforts, trust from honoring treaties, and generous gifts can shift another empire towards you and result in the possibility of changing their goals and strategy, thus opening up further treaty possibilities. Among the special characters in your empire, ambassadors can be crucial, though you never have enough for all the other empires. Pick and choose where to send your ambassadors to shore up and facilitate key relationships. Each faction now also has diplomatic research associated with it, starting with its language and ending with a complete understanding of their culture, history, and traditions. Pursuing this time of diplomatic research can significantly increase mutual understanding. Finally, there is always the quick deal, and you should periodically check to see if another empire or pirate faction has something of value which they are willing to trade for a price you may find appealing. Conflict can take many forms in distant worlds too. We won't cover espionage and sabotage in this video, but we'll deal with everything your space fleets and armies can do. Please note that as is usual in distant worlds too, you can control as much of this part of the game as you wish, or you can also choose to automate it and leave it to your advisors. First of all, while there is a formal state of war that can exist in distant worlds, that's not required in order to attack the ships, stations, or worlds of another empire, pirate, or independent world. You are free to be aggressive even without a state of war, though it will harm your relationship and could have consequences up to and including war. Early in the game, you'll test your fleets and troops mainly against two potential targets: pirate factions and independent worlds. Pirates can be kept relatively peaceful through diplomacy, but sometimes you may feel the need to send a different kind of message. In those cases, a fleet attack on a pirate home base to destroy or capture it tends to resolve the problem entirely. With independence, when diplomacy has failed or just isn't your preferred option, an invasion from your orbiting troop transports can also encourage them to join your empire, or else. Later on, you will face other empires like your own, and this is where the full array of strategies and tactics become much more important. From designing your warships to organizing them into fleets of various roles and types with the new fleet templates, to setting the tactics by fleet or even by ship to match up with your goals, or constructing monitoring stations, defensive space bastions, and massive planetary defense facilities, you have many options at your disposal. A variety of military starships, from the small escort up to the largest battleships and carriers, all play important roles in your empire's defense. In addition to starships, you also have troops, both to defend your worlds and invade the worlds of your enemies. Infantry, armor, special forces, planetary defense units, and titans, as well as robotic or clone troops, can all potentially be part of your army, and the new army template system can help you determine the right mix for each task. The ground combat system takes a variety of factors into account, from each side's suitability to the planet's environment to control of the space above. Admirals and generals, who gain in experience over time, can help you achieve your military goals. Fleet and army missions such as blockade, bombard, raid, invade, attack, and capture can lead to many creative plans for success and conquest. While many factions in distant worlds too prefer peace, they exist in a galaxy where even the peaceful must be prepared to defend their interests. Distant Worlds, the critically acclaimed 4X space strategy game, is back with a brand new 64-bit engine, 3D graphics, and a polished interface. Distant Worlds 2 is a vast, pausable, real-time 4X space strategy game. Explore the galaxy, discovering valuable resources, potential colonies for your empire, and making contact with other empires. Huge galaxies with up to 2,000 star systems and tens of thousands of planets are yours to explore and exploit, whether peacefully through mining and diplomacy or by conquest. Develop new technologies for building your own unique ships and starbases. Defend the outlying areas of your empire to protect it from raiding pirates or dangerous space monsters. Explore star systems and discover evidence of civilizations long since past, uncovering secrets about the galaxy's troubled history. Each galaxy is packed with life and activity. Interact with other empires, discussing treaties, making trade offers, or just giving them a piece of your mind. Choose from 7 playable base game factions, which cover a wide variety of playstyles. Build, expand, and improve your empire while playing through the storylines, with victory conditions or in an open-ended sandbox mode. Automate the various tasks in your empire so that you can focus on the areas that you enjoy most. Intelligent automation allows you to tailor the game to your preferred playstyle and scale. Decide how much you want to control and which gameplay areas suit you best. A built-in game editor allows you to fine-tune your own galaxy, adding or removing star systems, planets, asteroids, ships, star bases, space monsters, or anything else. Best of all, these all combine to let you play the game your way. Enjoy a quick, intense game in a crowded sector of space, or take your time in an epic game spread across a vast galaxy.
For so long, we have waited to find our destiny once more among distant stars.
All systems green. Crew, stand by for launch.
With each generation, wondering if we were ready to return.
Plane is clear. Good to go.
We didn't know if the galaxy had changed, if the dangers that hunted our ancestors still lurked in its far shadows. But we have their memories of wars, of alliances, reminders that we are not alone.
Contact with survey team. Coordinates set.
And that if we looked beyond the distrust, we could find hearts the same as ours. Hearts that yearn for freedom.
Ready hyperdrive.
No longer is humanity bound to a single star. We will reach for the outer edges and find our destiny beyond. Once more, our journey begins.